now sitting at the Wavetable.
Hello everyone, welcome to episode 9 of the Wavetable. This episode is featuring Kai, aka TERRORFORM. Do you want to just give us a brief introduction, what you do and what you're all about and that good stuff?
Yep. Yeah, no worries. So yeah, Kai, TERRORFORM. So basically just make dubstep, drum and bass, bit of just hybrid-y stuff, quite light and energetic. But I've also been spending quite a bit of time also just building up a label, publishing label specifically, really just to kind of help those who have the same passion as myself, get out there and kind of connect and give it a bit of a community get a bit of a community going. And yeah, not sure what to say too much there. Love the industry. Really want to, make it my life, I suppose. So,
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I think like probably most of the people watching aim to do the same thing. So it's good to
no doubt.
Good to be consuming content from people who have similar goals. Just kind of puts you on the right track. So I do want to talk about the label stuff later because I know people are definitely going to be interested in that. But first of all, I wanted to talk about some of your music. So you normally make rhythm and dubstep and stuff, but sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I'm also dub. Rhythm's always just been like, rhythm's really big in the community and, to keep relevant, like I've made rhythm. Otherwise, if rhythm hadn't become such a big thing, I probably wouldn't have worried about it.
Yeah, I definitely feel that. Like I've made a few tracks that are rhythm-ish. Like it's not my main genre either, but it's definitely good for just staying relevant and that kind of stuff.
It's good to practice like different things, different genres as well. It gets the creative juices flowing. So
like from making a bit of rhythm stuff, I definitely had a challenge in layering a snare on top of a kick or a clap on top of a kick. Like getting that to sound clean is pretty hard.
Right. Yeah, exactly right. I just used to compress them together because just compress it so the kick would come down and then EQ the kick a little bit for that, for when the clap would come over the top. Just kind of get it obviously till it sounds right.
Yeah. I've seen people actually just make samples that are just like a kick and a clap. And I think that's probably a good way to do it as well.
Yeah. No, that definitely would be a good idea and save a lot of time too.
Yeah. But yeah, given that you mostly make dubstep, I wanted to ask about your most recent track, which is a remix of Duality by Samplifier.
Yeah.
What made you go with Bass House?
Honestly, I was just wanted to do something different, like change it up a little bit. I was just messing around with like what I'd already made, and it actually started off as drum and bass.
Oh, really?
And then and then I had decided to actually take it back, like the BPM back down to like 120. I went down to like 140, and I was like, I can't make it dubstep. Like being big remix contest. So many people are going to be doing dubstep. I want it to stand out. I want it to be different. And to do that, I just brought it down to 122. And then I was like, oh, this sounds good. And so then played with it a little bit and fixed it up. And then it came out to be what it is. But still mastering it at the moment. Actually, I mastered it last night and just put in probably another, raised it about 3 decibels and just added a whole bunch of spark into it and brightness, which is just making it basically. So really excited to update that and also see the results of the competition and see all the contest winners at that. It's going to be great.
Yeah. Are you worried that maybe they saw the earlier version and they're not going to see the updated version?
Maybe, but at the same time, there's that they've updated their link tree with the submission. So I haven't actually submitted it through that yet.
Okay.
So I'm going to update the file and then submit it. So
okay,
fingers crossed
good.
anyway.
Yeah, I really like the sound design on that. Like, I don't know whether to call it a lead or a bass, but just like the main synth.
Yeah, I mean, like, I won't take any credit for that. That's all Samplifier, really, because, I mean, I think I might have put, I think it does say remix, doesn't it? I think I was meant to actually put edit, but I was like, no, I'll just call it a remix.
No,
but it's just a fake drop.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that because like it's such a different vibe to the original. It's like, it's completely different. But yeah, like where I was going originally with this question was like, I was pretty much going to say, don't you think it would have been like way easier to just do a dubstep track? But you're totally right. Like everyone's going to be doing rhythm and dubstep. So going with bass house definitely helps you stand out from the crowd.
Yeah, no, definitely. It was, I'm very, very happy with the results of that. And I mean, to be honest, I actually would have to give a shout out to like Defy Society as well as like Oski and Felmax and Twirl, because if it wasn't for them and their feedback and, you know, telling me to like just get rid of this part, like you don't need this part, like it's just a waste, like, you know, you got to make the song interesting, and to do that, you know, just take out this little interlude, etc. And it's because of them like that it ended up being what it is now. So
yeah, I can't give enough credit to Defy feedback and that. I used to just put like heaps of random background percussion in all my tracks just because I felt like they were empty or something. But then I think it was like Sean or someone from Defy was like, dude, just delete that whole fucking group of percussion and make your basses thicker. And then like since then, just been an upward trajectory.
Yeah, I find that with some of my drum and bass songs is that I make and don't release is that I add all these really like intense percussions. I always start with the beat when I'm doing a drum and bass song, but you know, I'll try to add like at least minimum 10 layers, like 10 different drum hits into it. And then, you know, sometimes I end up adding, you know, 15 or 7. I have one song that has like 18 layers. And 8 of those layers are literally just all like different types of hats and percussions and like shakers per se. But yeah, sometimes I have found like, you know, I put a little bit too much in, and there's like, sometimes it's just the pattern though, the pattern's too much. And then, there's this, I always try to as well, like do a thing where I pretend, I've never played drums, but I pretend that I'm playing drums. And, you know, I can't hit like 3 or 4 things at once. So the focus is, if I'm doing all these percussions, is not to hit all these, these different percussions at the same time, because, well, just for the sake of natural sound. Yeah. Try to go for that more natural feel within the performance, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if this is like obvious to everyone or not, but it might be helpful to some. But yeah, basically, if you're programming drums, you want to have like the kick is okay. Like kick can go on top of everything else, but then other stuff, you can only have 2 things hitting at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So have you done much bass house before this tune?
I think like the second song I ever made, so like I'm talking like 5 years ago or something, 4 years ago, was bass house, and that's it. And that was like all just loops. It was just creative juices flowing, but like the idea wasn't terrible, but the song was definitely not great. That's for sure.
I feel that's like 99% of my early tracks.
Yeah.
Good idea, terrible execution.
Exactly right. Yeah.
So did you have to do much like research on how to like create a bass house track other than just getting feedback from Defier?
Well, when I actually started DJing quite a few years ago, I actually started with house, and I used to play on a house radio station called Soulfinity, and used to have a weekly slot. where basically every week I'd spend a couple of hours going through SoundCloud, downloading like more bass house tunes, and practicing them, and then putting together a set and then putting it up. So there was definitely a natural like inclination towards how house and bass house is set up.
Yeah.
I remember Jaws back in the day when like he blew up and started doing mod tours and etc. I loved bass house. I still do love bass house, but it's just such a unique style of. It's just like boppy dubstep, basically.
Yeah.
Like super happy boppy dubstep. Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Hopefully, actually, I might even make some more in the future, depending.
I wouldn't mind seeing it come back a bit. Like, I mean, I love the headbanging shit, but
always.
It kind of gets old sometimes.
Yeah, that I do find I've noticed. Like, I was downloading some songs off Beatport earlier, and I was just going through some of the top 100, and some of the songs just remind me of songs that had existed like a year or two ago.
Yeah,
but just like have a different melody in the background, or like different effects, basically. Like the synth is slightly different, but it's all the same structure, and it's like there's so much more that can be done.
Yeah, come up with
do that
shit.
Yeah, even if it's not great, like after a bit of practice and a bit of time, you'll figure out how to make that different shit really, really good.
Yeah,
how I feel anyway.
Even if you want to like make stuff that's still safe, try to make something new, like one element that sounds a bit different per track.
Yeah,
something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you still got to keep those little like reference points, those little things that people are familiar with. But yeah, definitely.
So, what are your thoughts on remix comps in general? Like the Disciple competition has definitely brought like a lot of attention to Disciple, regardless of how big they already were.
Yeah.
Do you think there's like any downsides to it?
Not off the top of my head. I feel like Never Say Die used to be the #1 label, and I think that Disciple ended up taking over that #1 spot within the last couple of years, and I think they're just trying to hold that.
Right.
Keep that relevancy, keep like just consistent impact within the actual industry, which is, I mean, completely good for them. Was it Disciple that did the Belle Delphine like promo? It's Disciple, wasn't it? Yeah.
Oh, I can't remember. Fuck.
I'm pretty sure it was. If it wasn't, it was Never Say Die, but I'm pretty sure it was Disciple. And like just things like that, they're so onto like hype, onto what's going on in the world right now. And just in branding in general, like that's a very important thing to do, is be relevant to now.
Yeah, they're always like up to date with the latest shit, and their community is levels above anything else. Like they got the fucking live streams and all that shit. Like even sample packs and shit. Oh man.
Yeah, right.
Have you tried
what is it? The distro? Oh no, what is it? Can't even remember what it's called at the moment. That like online chat platform and
Discord.
Discord, yeah. Even their Discord is like so many people are on that. It's bloody massive.
I think I'm in that, yeah.
Yeah, I never go on it though.
Yeah, I've got so many folders in my Discord, and then there's like 3 servers at the top that I actually use.
I feel that.
Oh god. So since we're on the subject of labels, do you want to stand up and show that shirt off for a second?
Oh yeah. Booyaka shaka. Let's get it. Oh, I gotta spin the other way because of my headphones. Ride my chair for a second. Boom. I got I've actually just been working all day at adding a whole bunch of new stuff to the merch shop, such as like hoodies and long sleeves and it's bloody time consuming. I'll tell you that much.
I definitely need a new hoodie. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah. But yeah, I go a little bit overboard on the costs because I try to use AS Color. AS Color and shout out to AS Color. Like they are hands down like one of the best shirt companies for like printing. If you ever do merch, recommend using them. Their shirts will last a lifetime. I've got shirts from like Biscuit Factory events here in Brisbane. One that's like 5 or 6 years old, and it's still like perfect. Like it's got a tiny little bit of cracking in it.
Yeah.
But like it's still perfect. I'll still wear that happily.
Yeah. Dude, I don't give a shit about like a tiny bit of cracking. The thing that pisses me off is when you wear a t-shirt twice and it's already basically see-through.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly right.
Fucked. Give us a kind of like extended introduction to Wubz as a label and kind of what you guys are doing for those upcoming artists out there, such as myself.
Yeah. Well, yeah, if you haven't already checked out Wubz in that sense, Astro has a killer EP that just dropped with us the other week. Definitely go check that out. That's been doing really good recently. I'm trying to think. I actually think I got a possible radio submission. Someone hit me up wanting your tunes for like some radio station over in the UK. So like big
Holy
ups, man.
Shit. That's crazy. What?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's in this earth, man. It's progress every day. But yeah, Wubz Promotions basically. We're not your standard label or we're a publishing label which is all about promotions, hence promotions. Our focus really is just to help the community that's ever growing and ever so large. Help, small artists, big artists. It doesn't actually matter the level of the artist. It's just about the quality of the music, and it's about helping kind of unite everyone within the community, helping unite, people who love their rhythm, who love their dubstep, who eventually I want to get a lot of drum and bass involved as well. Because it's very, very similar groups, like very similar, like pretty much we're all have the same passion really. So, but I just want to kind of unite everyone in any aspect. But yeah, we're Brisbane based. It's also run by my good mate Matt Parker, who's Schizoid. If you don't know him, definitely go check him out. He's
2 of the podcast.
Exactly. So go check that one out too. But he's had some crazy news of recent, which I cannot disclose as much as I'd love to. So at the moment, we actually just do fortnightly releases, hoping to maybe go into weekly releases next year. Maybe. It's a lot of work just even doing them fortnightly at the moment. But so we get exclusive releases from artists around the globe, set them up, do pre-saves on their albums or singles, release their music on all streaming platforms from Spotify, Beatport, iTunes. Beatport's in the middle of being set up right now. I've had some difficulties, which is really annoying. But and then our music, the music from the artists in which we're promoting, we pretty much inevitably, I don't know if that's the right word, consistently and continue to promote these works through time, sending them to A&R, like synchronization labels or companies, radio stations, setting up playlisting from on Spotify as well as SoundCloud, connecting with other promotional companies basically to bring light into what is the dark world of dubstep.
So, God, that's a lot of shit, man. Like, even I still learned something new.
Yeah. Oh man, I learn something new every day doing this. Like, you know, I don't want to like, what is it? I can't even think of the term for it, but talk myself up. But like, I already know so much about the industry, and you know, that's from years and years of actually being involved in it, of just being around it, just looking in more or less, or slowly climbing in and then looking out as well. And I really just want to be able to share all this information that I've been able to obtain with everyone else. It's kind of, I don't want to say funny. It's not funny. It's not sad either, but it's odd to me how many musicians don't actually know the industry. There's so many ins and outs that, I mean, I can understand how it's confusing to some, and how there's so many crevices, more or less, that people haven't searched through. But yeah, I just want to kind of bring this knowledge, you know, out to the artists and help them actually realize how things work and how they can best utilize themselves and their music and their brand for their own improvement, basically.
Yeah, that's fucking hella cool thing you're doing, man. And I think
cheers, bro.
A lot of the reason that people don't really know how the music industry works is kind of just like grandfathered in from the days where record labels were the only possible way to like get your music heard. Because it was like, okay, I write music, and if I write good enough music, people are gonna pick me up, and then my shit gets out there. Whereas obviously nowadays it's just like you can write your own music and put it out there, but the industry side of things, people are just kind of a bit slow to catch up on that knowledge, I guess. Because they've just been creating for so long rather than worrying about the industry.
It's got a lot to do with, I think, you know, the musicians come in with just a passion for music.
Yeah.
And, you know, their passion isn't to run a label or, you know, to help other artists necessarily. It's just to make killer music.
Yeah.
And, you know, so it's never a kind of, you know, in their plans to go learn how the industry works and figure out, you know, how contracts are set up and how promotion is done, et cetera, or branding and all these, you know, in-depth things. But yeah, it's crazy how big the world of that actually is.
It's extremely intimidating.
Yeah, I feel that every day.
So how long ago did you start Wubz, and kind of what was the moment where you realized like, okay, we're like an official thing now?
Yeah, so I'd say that well, officially, technically, it was about June of last year, of 2019. That's when I started reaching out, you know, had the original idea and was really trying to push it forward. But my mind wasn't in the right place. So, like, I wasn't focused on it, and I wasn't actually putting time into it every day or anything. And so eventually, like, I ended up getting 2 releases over 6 months. And but yeah, after the start of this year is when I really decided that, you know, I really want to do this. I'm gonna put my all into it, basically. And with COVID, like, it was like perfect time to do it.
Yeah.
You know, what else am I gonna do right now? Like, play games, fiddle my thumbs, like fiddle my fingers, whatever that term is. But yeah, and so I decided to pursue, you know, doing that and putting all my time and energy into that. You know, I put almost all of my spare, like, excess money, which, I mean, isn't a lot. I don't work. I dole bludge, as people call it. You know, I'm living off government subsidies. And that's just because of COVID again. But yeah, I thought, well, with all this extra money, I might as well actually invest it in myself, invest it in, a business, and what I want to do and what my passion is. And I'd say that the point in which I knew that it was official in the label is probably like every day for the last like month. Like,
hell yeah.
Because it's just it's still for me. I'm still putting in like full-time hours at the moment. It still has so far to actually go before it's running smoothly, before it's off the ground. Really, in the sense of a plane taking off, we're still gaining altitude. We're still, our wheels are still down technically, and at that, I see the big journey ahead. I see the distance that we still got to run. But yeah, I'm super excited for it. And the past month, every day has just been like seeing the progress, seeing, people's love and passion, reflect back towards me, like their appreciation for, what I've been doing, the help that me and Matt have been providing. Just it fuels the fire, basically. It makes me want to do it even more every day. So,
and I think it's listening to this, it might be easy to kind of take it as an understatement of how fast the label has been growing. But you posted a picture like 4 days ago or something where the label had 800 likes on Facebook, and now it's at 900 in 4 fucking days. Like, what?
Yeah. From early days, it's quite the jump. But yeah, I honestly, that wouldn't be possible without those 100 people. It wouldn't be possible without everyone out there, showing their love and showing their support. And to that, as I always say, thank you guys. I honestly appreciate it to the bottom of my heart. But it's partially overwhelming and partially half overwhelming and half exciting. It's got to keep myself in check half the time, so I can keep my mind focused.
Yeah.
Keep my mind focused, keep everything flowing smoothly. Yeah,
you can't like let the positivity get you like too excited about it, because then it becomes easy to not put as much effort into things, at least from my experience.
But yeah, exactly, because then you take a day off, or like you decide, everything's going really good, I'm just gonna relax for this day, and then that day kind of ends up being like 2 or 3 days, because you're just like, it's all right. And then after those 2 or 3 days, you come back and you're like, oh God, I have so much to do. Like, I should have done this the other day. Like, and then you're kind of like stressing almost. And that's never good. I don't know. I've been on a bit of a self-improvement, self-development kind of journey over the last like 4 to 6 weeks, quitting smoking, eating better, focusing, on just what I need to do, like for longevity of my life, more or less, rather than what's better for me not what's better for me right now, rather than my own comforts right now.
Yeah.
And I think that in itself, this like positive attitude has been really what's actually carried me throughout everything. So as hard as it's been, like, I recommend, positivity always, like, it'll actually carry you so well.
Fucking mad props, dude. I know how hard fucking quitting smoking and eating well and shit is. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, it's, cooking every night can be a pain, but honestly, you've coming from personal experience over the past 6 weeks, it is like, it is really good. Like, you do feel better. Like, I feel more active in the mornings. I can sleep for like 6 hours a night now and wake up and feel, energetic, ready to get out of bed. Take me back 2 months, 3 months plus. I'd sleep 12 hours and be like, I don't want to get out of bed. Like,
Uh,
I mean, I love sleep, so I can still do that now if I want to, but I don't want to. I want to get up and do stuff, go gardening, whatever it is.
Sick. Yeah, I find I've recently started reading The Artist's Way, which is kind of a self-improvement book specifically aimed at artists of any sort. And yeah, it's kind of similar things, you know, just teaching yourself to be better overall. And there's this guy, Adam Ivy, on YouTube. He has this 20 days of focus challenge, which is a really like it's aimed at like helping yourself get more followers on Instagram and that kind of shit. But I started doing the challenge, and then I just started adding other things that I should be doing to the list. Like every day I go for a walk and, you know, that kind of stuff. And
I do the same. I'll go for a walk down to the shops or go for a skate if I don't need to go to the shops. And yeah, it's amazing. It really helps that. Yeah.
And it's what I found was so great about that is that you're aiming to get 20 days in a row. And if you miss a day, you start over, but it's not a big deal. Like you'll eventually get the 20 days in a row, but it's kind of just tricked me into just wanting to do that shit every single day. Like if I ever get the 20 days in a row, I think I'm just going to keep going anyway. You know?
Yeah. And you should, it's about that consistency. It's, you know, consistency is what brings, you know, what you're chasing. Basically, it's you know, it's tortoise and the hare. You know, the hare was not consistent, even though he was faster at getting the job done per se. He kept stopping and starting, and that resulted in him losing. While the tortoise was slower, but never stopped. He was consistent through the whole thing, through the whole race, and that's why he won. And compounding on top of consistency, like compounding is everything at that. You know, as long as you keep something up, you're going to start seeing, I mean, you won't see really results at first, but after 2 weeks, it's like going to the gym. Not that I go to the gym. I've never gone to the gym, but, you know, you don't see results, you know, for the first couple of weeks. It's not until, you know, after a month or a couple of months that you actually see the results.
Yeah.
So yeah, that plays a big part, but that's awesome. I'll have to actually suss that out. What's that? YouTube channel?
Adam Ivy.
Adam Ivy.
Yep. Yeah. And then it was the 20-day challenge. Oh, the book was The Artist's Way.
Artist's Way. Oh, sweet. I can just watch this over and find those out. No, awesome.
Yeah, and to add another thing on to the consistency stuff is a lot of people, especially producers, seem to think that you got to work like 12 hours a day and keep that shit up. But like that's, unless you're the type of person that just can do that regardless, that's like a one-way path to burnout. Like it's way better to just work less hours every single day than work 12 hours, feel like complete shit the next day and take the day off.
That's it. Yeah. No, I definitely agree with that. It's moderation. You know? You gotta, like, I actually stopped gaming. Like I stopped gaming, haven't gamed in 6 weeks. But you know, I hadn't watched TV shows for 3 years before that. I'd watched 3 movies in in 2 years. Sorry.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Like I don't watch TV, but since I stopped gaming, I've actually picked up watching, you know, more Netflix, watching TV again. And you know, if anything, what I've learned from that is that, you know, it's about moderation. It's not that watching TV necessarily is bad or watching or gaming is bad, but moderation, you know, you just got to balance it.
Yeah, exactly. So what's the release plan? Or sorry, what's the next release that's coming out on Wubz? And what kind of vibe is that one going on?
It's got a beautiful, very bright, colorful cover.
Oh,
it's awesome. Actually, I think there's some, technically, well, the pre-release is out, so the cover's actually available to view per se. But the next release is by Espioff, and it's called Adventure Mode. But yeah, this release is actually quite a nice one. I'm very, very happy to actually announce this one. Shout out to Dan Nelson for this killer tune. Cheers for hitting us up and having that faith with us. Yeah, this drops on the 7th of August and hitting all the stores. We had a slight issue with Spotify and all that, so it won't be on Spotify until the 9th. But I'd say it's just really good dubstep. It's like what dubstep should be, and I won't denounce rhythm, but it's not rhythm. So, but it's a killer tune. I'm like, yeah, it's one of I shouldn't say that I have favorites, but it's one of my favorites of what's coming up. We've actually got so many killer tunes. I can't even say that, because like almost all of them are actually really, really good. We got like, some killer, we got some killer tear out, some killer, like borderline bro step, just generic dub, which is awesome. Some rhythm, one being another EP that's coming up soon. Yeah, it's very exciting. Definitely go check that out. You can find the links actually to SBOff, the pre-saves at the moment, over on Wubz Promotions. Just hit up the link tree, or just linktree / Wubz Promotions. And yeah, go pre-save that. You can also go save Astro's EP on there. It's still up there. Bam. Go hit that. Go give it a love.
Hell yeah. Do it. I've been meaning to ask, do you guys have a Spotify playlist, like just for the Wubz releases?
Yeah, we do. We definitely do. Yeah. I want to actually get on to doing a monthly scheduled playlist as well. So pretty much, just have whoever, like, either whether people send us music to put on this playlist, or whether we actually, go out and find music ourselves and put it on. We're going to have a playlist that's going to be everything like that we love and whatever of the last 30 days put on there.
Sick.
And so songs will actually automatically drop out of the playlist after 30 days of their release.
Oh, I
and
didn't
so
know
it'll just
you
be
could
this.
do that.
Yeah. So it's like it's kind of like how a repost chain works, in the sense of like you schedule them, and you can schedule them for how long. But instead of how long they're being reposted for, it's kind of like reposting, but within Spotify, I suppose.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's going to be good.
Yeah, I'm excited to follow that, and also go find the regular one after this.
Yeah. Well, I heard you got a sick playlist as well for
on the brain
Australian producers.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, both.
Yeah, I was about to say, if you're listening and you're an Aussie dubstep producer, just, I guess, hit me up, like email or comment on the YouTube video or something, because I'm trying to put together an Aussie dubstep playlist of around like 50 artists or so.
50.
I'm sure there's more than 50 of you in Australia, so
there has to be, right? Trying to think. I think I actually saw a couple. I'll have to hit you up after this, but I think I saw a couple that aren't on that list yet. But
sick.
Mad.
And so, as for people who want to submit to Wubz, is there a link to the email or something in the link tree? Or
that's a great idea. I need to add that in there. Submit as one of the links. No, there's not, but you can either submit just by emailing straight to us, which is dubwubs with a Z promotions @gmail.com. Yet to have a cool domain email, but we also, through our website, which is just www.dubwubspromotions.com, We have a big old submit button up in the top right-hand corner. And then I think that's technically it, but I'll have to add one to the link tree as well. But yeah, with taking tunes, we got a compilation album, free download compilation album coming up in December, which will have probably like 15 plus free download tunes, 15 different artists plus. And yeah, that's going to be awesome. Got one from yourself there. Got a couple of Australian producers dropping tunes in that, as well as like all over the rest of the world. Yeah, it's exciting. Very exciting.
Fuck yeah. Are you going to release one of your own tunes on Wubz?
I already have, but I will. I will again.
Oh, that was before I talked to you guys.
Yeah. It was like me and Matt when at the start of the year when we decided to get Wubz rolling properly and really invest into it and actually put all our time and energy into it. We had actually sorry, at the start of the year when me and Matt had started investing properly into Wubz, we decided to take it upon ourselves to actually be the first two releases. And that was just so that we could have time to do all the planning and setting up and whatnot. That was actually one of my favorite unreleased tunes of my own at the time. So I was like, yeah, just bam, I'll put that one forward. And I'm pretty happy with it, but I haven't really made much music since. It's been very saddening, but got to put that time into Wubz and get it going and it flowing. So
it was definitely a good idea to put your own tunes out as the first releases, just to kind of like no risk practice the whole label thing, I guess.
Exactly.
Just because you don't want to burn someone like, hey, we're going to do all this shit for you, and then like you just can't deliver for some reason.
Yeah, literally, right?
Horrible.
We still sometimes even have those issues right now, and that's what I was talking about before, about how like, we're a plane taking off and realistically like our wheels are still coming in. And because since we just started recently doing distribution to Spotify and iTunes, etc., doing that has made us realize, oh no, like we actually got to like plan to do our release. Like we got to actually upload releases 2 weeks before it releases, because otherwise it won't release on the day that we want it to release. And there's just all these massive issues that we have and or have had and still currently have, like with SBOF's release, like that was actually pushed back a week. And it's disheartening for myself when that happens, but I know like in general, like you can't let things like that get to you. You just got to push through and find ways to work around it. And by the end of this year, I plan that our plane will now be at full altitude. So that's like the main goal for 2020 anyway. Get to that point where we're just cruising.
And yeah, it's like, sure, it was pushed back, but ultimately it's not that big of a deal, at least in my opinion. Like, you're still going to do everything promised. It's just, it took a bit of extra time. So it's, yeah,
exactly. And I mean, that's what, like, I'm sure the artists always understand to a degree that, when something does get pushed back, that it is, for their betterment.
Yeah.
If we didn't care, we'd just be like, all right, slap it out. Like, doesn't matter. It's, it's released on the day we said, blah, blah, all these other issues. It doesn't matter. Like, but no, we definitely care, and we want to keep things as in line as possible and on track. So, I mean, it's not only for our branding and the artist's branding, but it's also for the sake of like fluid promotion, fluid marketing, just works better.
Yeah.
You can't say like, oh, something's going to release on this day to the public, and then, on that day be like, or on that week beforehand be like, oh, it's actually going to be this day now because of this or whatever. Chances are you're going to have less people on that day actually follow through and view it. So
True. Yeah. It kind of reminds me of just like games and stuff being delayed. Like, yeah, it sucks, but ultimately it's gonna be the greater result.
The bastards. That just reminds me of
Cyberpunk.
What game? Nah, not Cyberpunk. But pretty much exactly like Cyberpunk. What is it called? Mountain Blade. Mountain Blade. They're like, oh, we're releasing it on PC, but not console. And it's like, you've held it off for this long, almost like 10 years, and you tell us you're going to release it on this day, and it's already been pushed back again and again and again. And now, now you're telling us that it's not going to release on console? Like, well, for a while, and you're not even giving any explanation to when it's going to release on console?
Fuck.
Like, I guess I'm just going to have to buy a PC.
That definitely sounds like a hype killer, but I reckon the amount of delay that Cyberpunk has had is just going to, like, when it finally comes out, it's just going to explode, I reckon.
Oh, is that still not come out?
No.
Oh, yeah,
so,
shit.
Right?
Yeah, no, that makes... Yeah, no, it hasn't, has it? No. Yeah, every time I see, like, a video or whatever and, like, an ad for it, a trailer, and, like, it's like, oh, yeah, it's coming up in a few months or, end of the year type thing. Yeah. Part of, like, not gaming, I don't really haven't paid much attention to most games even before the whole, like, last 6 weeks type thing. But... yeah, no, that would be good. Did Death Stranding get released? Death Stranding's out.
I believe so, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because I know that was like held off for a little bit, but that looks like a good game, besides just looking like walking around all the time.
Yeah, that's what deters me from those kinds of games.
Yeah.
Yeah, so is there anything else that you'd like to talk about before we kind of wrap up here?
I think. Well, I guess like DWP, like, fortnightly releases till the end of the year. We have like, the compilation. So just, if you want to send us tunes for that compilation, just hit up our website or hit up our page, send it through to our Gmail. We'd love to have you. We have also 2 exclusive release slots left for this year, and then, like, that's it. Like, we're fully booked out to the end of the year, which is awesome. Merch is like hitting the store right now, which is all on our website. And hopefully, as TERRORFORM, I'll be bringing you some new music soon. Fingers crossed.
Hell yeah! Oh, I forgot to ask something actually.
Yeah.
So I heard that I assume you're okay with me talking about this since I sent you a preview of the questions.
Oh yeah, probably.
I heard that there might be like some DJ mixes or remix contests.
Oh yeah,
or like even a radio station at some point. So
yep.
Yeah, like it's obviously gonna take a bit, but like you guys are just gonna fucking go full out. Like that shit is crazy. That just must take hella work, but it's gonna be sick.
And that's why they're like these things are kind of like behind the scenes at the moment, because they're ideas that I've put forward to Matt and we've talked about and kind of decided that they're going to happen. It's just that we haven't actually pursued doing them yet. Radio station is a definite. So, give it end of 2021. We'll have a digital radio station going, which we plan to, involve, kind of like small, like kind of talk shows in a sense. Like, who knows? They could even host you up on the radio station type thing. Like, put these through. That would be great. As well as, promoting people's music, playing it on our site, just like Noisiest radio station does. Basically playing our own releases, which was partially the original idea for the radio station, because as a label, we want to be promoting our own, our releases. And you know, what's better way than a radio station?
Yeah.
You know, and that way as well, it's going to gain a slight bit of revenue stream, you know, back through it. So, but then, yeah, mixes. We're getting on to having, I don't know if it'll be the every second week. Like, so every week that we don't have a release, we'll have a guest mix. I don't know if it'll be every second week or if it'll be once a month. But yeah, we're looking to do guest mixes from artists around the world, whoever. And that's like, I've only asked one person so far, so that's literally something I've started within the last week. But yeah, that's a definite too. If anything, that'll be something that'll probably happen next year. Or start next year. But that's something definitely like to look forward to. And you know, that works in with the radio station too, because eventually having the radio station, we're going to want people to do mixes and have mixes for this radio station.
Yeah.
And I mean, radio station, we can even work in collaborations with, like, say, these online festivals and stuff like that. But yeah, it's all, what was the other thing? Radio station, guest mixes. Third thing there?
And remix contests.
Remix contest, yeah. So looking to do a remix contest towards the start, like, or end of this year, hoping to start it within the next month or two. We're just kind of working through the details at the moment, trying to work out, basically just the nitty-gritty details, and when kind of works within our schedule to be a good time to start it, a good time to finish it, and have the release set, as well as, it's very exciting. I'm almost stressed thinking about it now. It's like, oh shit, I gotta go get all this shit done. Like, I'm gonna get off my ass.
Yeah,
I gotta sit on my ass.
I think this is going to be the longest episode so far. But the conversations just flowed so naturally.
I had a feeling it would. But yeah.
I really like the way you were talking about radio stations. Like, it sounds like it's going to be like an actual radio station and not just like random music from the label 7.
Yeah, no. I like, it's going to be a proper radio station. And because I mean, you know, just like yourself and your passion, you know, and you know, I've, you know, to some degree, I can't say that this is true or not, but I feel like I've had kind of that similar ideology that you've had, that got you into doing your podcasts. You know, I'd love to sit down and, you know, talk with artists about, you know, not only music and whatnot, but just about, you know, even just get rid of music completely and just talk about random shit going on in the world. Like, you know, so that's something that I thought, oh, that's great because I can just put it in with the radio station.
Yeah.
And then another little niche I'd love to have in it, almost like an Easter egg, is give it a kind of Grand Theft Auto radio station feel.
Oh, yeah.
You know? Yeah. Give some like quirky little skits in there. Be good fun.
Fuck. Yo, Ornob, if you're listening, you got to do some voiceover for these skits and shit.
Yeah, straight up.
My mate is a fucking dope VO artist. All right.
Yeah, sweet.
I think we'll end it there. And all the links for Dubwub's and Terra or Kai's music under Terrorform will be in the description. And that, thanks for joining me so much, dude. It was a pleasure talking to you.
No, pleasure. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Go check out all of Astro's Wavetable podcast for sure. You're missing out on a lot of, unless you've already seen them, a lot of awesome production information and all sorts.
Thanks,
man. No, my pleasure, man. Thanks for having me.
All good. All right. Thanks for listening, everyone. This has been Wavetable episode 9 featuring Kai, aka Terrorform. Peace.